Hello, it's Blue Orange 22. So this is going to be part of the Young Male Crises series, but it's also going to be a message to women about why you should care about the men's rights movement and why you should care about the issues that I talk about in this channel. Specifically, how the young male crisis in education and employment is starting to affect culture and society today. And I found these articles that I think are pretty interesting. They're about current trends where women are having a hard time finding men to marry because they're having a hard time finding men who make as much money as they do. So these are the articles that I'm talking about. I've linked them below. I'm going to do a video in the future and kind of break them down a little bit more, but I'm just going to do a little bit of a brief synopsis. Basically what it says is that women can't find men who earn as much money as they do. They can't find men who are in their same economic sphere or their same economic level, both in terms of career and in terms of education. Now, the reason this is happening is the subject I'm talking about in this series, the young male crisis. Young men are falling economically behind by a very significant margin. And if you go back and watch the series, that's exactly what I talk about. Young men are starting to fall significantly behind, both in education and in employment. Young men are less likely to go to college and less likely to have a job. And now we're starting to see a gap between men and women. And that's why we're seeing this problem with marriage. So, my message to women is this. This affects you too, and this hurts you too. I mean, first of all, unemployment for anybody is just bad for the economy in general. But an imbalance between two groups is particularly bad, and we're starting to see what some of the consequences are. I mean, just think about this. If you're getting married or just dating, and let's say you're renting an apartment or buying a house, one day you have children and dogs and bills and groceries and vacations and expenses. Isn't it better to have two partners with a job than just one? Wouldn't it be much better if both partners were making money and both partners were helping pay for the bills and paying for the groceries and paying for the children and everything else? And we're seeing the consequences right now in the declining marriage rates of the young male crisis. And it's not that MRAs are against women succeeding, which some people think that's what we think, which is not true at all. We're just pointing out, listen, there's a gap right now. There's an imbalance right now, and men are falling behind. And imbalances, inequalities, in the long run, are bad for everybody.